Hello, everybody. Welcome to What the Flick. Alonso Duralde joining us today. Kevin Taft from Just Seen It. Ben Mankiewicz is on vacation, so he is not going to be around to talk about Three Ways and Foreskin. We're here to talk about the first two episodes of HBO's new show, Looking, which I have to say I'm in. I think they're off to a good start.
I am too. I think it's a different perspective on the gay culture, first of all, and I like that they avoid kind of the stereotypical, kind of cliche storylines and
I think it's
commentary.
I think it's important to note that it's a perspective, because already my Facebook feed is full of, well, this isn't my life, and I don't recognize myself, and who are these people, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't imagine that every time a new law show comes on, that every lawyer is sitting around bitching, well, my day at the office isn't like that at all, But boy, whenever there's a gay show, it's like everybody gets super sensitive that it's not their specific experience. So. Yeah, it's not my experience either, but I believe that it's somebody's. I believe in these characters, and I'm interested to see where their lives take them. So give us a quick rundown. Who are we dealing with here?
We are dealing with Patrick. Jonathon Groff plays Patrick. He's kind of the audience surrogate. He seems like he's a newbie, but I don't think he really is. But he's kind of the one that is looking for love and kind of doing everything the wrong way. And,
totally.
And his friends are trying to guide him and not being so successful. We also have Dom, played by Bartlett, and he's like 39 years old, I guess, and he's still working at a restaurant and has dreams, but keeps on acting out, I suppose we could say.
Well, he's sort of the man-child of the show. We kind of the what's his face from Queer as Folk, like the guy who gets laid like crazy and is still sort of immature about it, But I think obviously he is facing middle age, dead to rights, and is sort of, we're going to still see him slowly make that transition where the mustache stops being so ironic or something. I don't know. I think he's reaching the end of one phase of his life and about to sort of cocoon into the next one.
He's actually I think almost the most interesting character so far.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to see where he's going to go. And then we have Richie, right? No.
Well, Augustine,
who played by
Frankie J. Álvarez.
And he's the one who's moving to Oakland. He's moving to the suburbs.
Yeah, with the boyfriend.
And doesn't seem too comfortable with it, but yet's trying it out. And he and Jonathon Groff have split being roommates, but they're best friends.
Right.
And
so what's cool about this show is, you watch enough pilots and you sort of start recognizing the formula of like, here are these characters and here's this stuff they have to deal with and how will they get through it and what's their relationship like. And this show, I think really kind of subtly brings you into their lives, gives you an idea of who they are, but leaves a lot of room to sort of fill in the blanks about what their jobs are like and what who they are and what they're about. I kind of feel like we're getting to know them a little bit at a time with each passing episode, and that's interesting, So really, all they have to do is to get you in enough that you care about them, that you're interested in, that you maybe like them to some extent. Obviously, these are all flawed characters. These are characters that are going to make big mistakes. Yeah. But I think that I'm invested enough to go with them to see what those are and what they learn from them.
Yeah, I think they're charming enough too. Jonathon Groff, especially.
Sure.
I think he's a guy I kind of want to smack in the face because he's too naive about everything, and he just keeps on saying the wrong things and doing the wrong things, but he's so earnest about it.
Yeah, he's constantly sort of sticking his foot in it, but you sort of get enough background to understand why. Like, it's not just that he's completely boorish. I think that Dom has the line of stop worrying about what your mother will think.
Right.
So clearly he's one of those guys, I think, who is sort of compartmentalized, sort of relationship, good, sex, dirty, So and so people, I think, a lot of times get stuck in those boxes where they feel like they either have to be in a relationship if they want to have sex, or if they have sex and they're not in a relationship, then somehow they're doing, that's a bad thing. And I like that the show is sort of willing to explore that and sort of maybe have people figure out that there are other paradigms to explore.
Right. He seems to always be asking permission to do the things that he really wants to do, but is clearly afraid to do.
Right. I love Lauren Weidman, who plays Dom's
awesome.
roommate and ex-girlfriend. Very funny.
More of her.
She's been a really good comedian, and she sort of provides a very needed kind of voice of reason and
Right.
to the show.
I don't really understand who she is yet.
Well, she and Dom are roommates, and they mentioned that they used to go out. So
Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there was a mention of that, like in passing in one line or something. So they apparently have some sort of shared romantic history, but then obviously he's gay, so that didn't really go anywhere. And for a cable show, I mean, I think cable shows want to sort of be sexy, but unfortunately, because of the way the MPAA and sort of American morality in general is, it's easier to be like woman sexy than man sexy in terms of things like nudity and stuff. But bam, first episode out of the gate, first three-way, So it's like, okay, and nobody gets struck by lightning. I think a lot of shows, when they introduce the three-way, it's an excuse to clutch pearls or to the horror and and I think that this show more realistically kind of takes it in the way that I think most gay people, and probably a lot of straight people, if listening to Dan Savage's podcast every week is to be believed, it's like it's not the end of the world. It is a thing that you can do and still have a relationship, So it's interesting to see how they're exploring that. So yeah, I mean, people, there are segments of the gay audience who are already guns a-blazing on this show.
Right.
But I think for these first two episodes are really promising. They were both directed by Andrew Haigh, who directed Weekend, which was my favorite film of 2011, I guess, when that came out. Michael Lannon is the creator, and he wrote the pilot and has written, I think, a good half or so of the episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in.
I'm in too. I really enjoy the characters. I had a friend, a female straight friend, watch it, and she watched 4 episodes, and she said that she missed the people when they left. So I was wondering how other people would react. Like, is this going to go past the gay audience?
Sure.
And I think it can. I think even though there is sex in it, it's graphic without being, overly graphic.
Sure.
It's not Game of Thrones, because that's, like softcore porn.
Right.
And this is not that. So I appreciate that, because it can bring in more audience to kind of look at the lifestyle and check it out.
The easy shorthand for the show is people are comparing it to Girls, and in that there are flawed characters who are young and sort of making their way through their 20s, 30s, and figuring the world out. Yes, but I think that the tone is different.
Yeah.
I like Girls too. We'll be talking about that also today. But I think it's its own thing. I think it's too reductive to sort of just kind of shove it into that box.
Absolutely. I think there's something a little bit more realistic about. I like Girls too, and I think there's a realism to it, but there's something a little bit more self-aware than this. Just seems kind of like I'm just following these people through their day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So at the end of 2 episodes, just to get you caught up, Patrick has attended a bachelor party for his ex-boyfriend, met up with a hot Mexican guy, but then sort of blows it in episode 2 by talking too much about his foreskin. Augustine moves out of Patrick's apartment and in with his boyfriend in Oakland. They have a 3-way and settle into a somewhat uneasy domesticity. Dom meets up with an ex, realizes that even just because you've gone through rehab doesn't mean you're not a creep. So things are happening.
Yeah, it's good. It's good
All right.
stuff.
Well, listen, Kevin, thanks for sitting in today,
Thank you.
and join us next week for more looking.